Hi everyone, welcome back, and today I have the HobbyPlus CR18P 2024 Pro version. So this should be the one with the Furitek system inside. You can see some of the features here, kind of if you want to read through that. Some of the other little boxes here, little Furitek logo there. And it is a full RTR set, so that's pretty cool. And I picked this up at the Fair RC 3-year anniversary sales event. So don't remember what these go for normally. I think it's closer to like $150 or $160. I picked this one up for about $130. So a pretty good discount going there. But opening it up, here we have the manual charger. That's the programming card for that ESC. Some Fair RC Halloween stickers, because it is kind of Halloween season at the moment. It looks like they included some Halloween goodies in here, which is cute. And then these don't come with the truck. But Fair RC has packaged it with the truck itself. These are the optional steel beadlock wheels for the truck, and you'll see why I got these in a second. HobbyPlus is very similar to FMS, so they will come with the same like FlySky OEM mini radio. So it looks pretty much identical to the FMS radio, just of course with different stickers. And I do like this is the updated version with the dip switches, a lot more programmability, no gross foam wheel. I'm personally not a big fan of foam wheels. I much prefer the plastic here. And you know, some AAA batteries to stick in here, and then it's a nice little radio. Really good controls, really good resolution, nice small size. I'm a big fan of this radio. With that said, let's get the truck extricated from the box. And this one is gonna be a Fair RC exclusive color, which is the black one. Normally they'll only come in matte green and like a matte sand color. But Fair RC does do some custom colors every once in a while. So this is the exclusive gloss black version, and you see I got the Unimog, or the Trail Hunter, I think it's called, version. And it looks really good. It's the newer Unimog style. I did have the FMS FCX24 Unimog, which was a beautiful truck, the 406, and I did really like that truck. But my problem with that truck was it was way too pretty for me to actually do the kind of like hardcore driving that I really wanted to do with it. And I think the Lexan body on this one will improve performance because it's much lighter, and also I won't feel as bad about scratching it because of course it's painted on the inside. Now with this one, I will be repainting it on the outside with like a darker army green color, or maybe even just put matte clear over this, because I don't think gloss black is a really good combination for something that goes off-road like this. But it is a cool like special forces kind of looking truck here. I love the bumper, the large bumper. I am going to be putting a different logo in the middle here. Maybe even get a 3D printed grille for that. I love that it has the headlights mounted already in the bumper. It also comes with tail lights, which is cool. Cool little cage. The old version of the Trail Hunter would have had a spare tire in the back, but instead this one has like a recessed bed back here, just kind of to improve performance. The battery, I believe, is stored in here, and it's just going to be a 600 milliamp hour 2S LiPo. That's really cool that they have easy access for that. And I believe the cab is supposed to tilt forward So let's see if I can figure out how to do that. So there's just like a little magnet in there. So you just pull really hard and tilts over. So you can reach all your electronics and stuff in there, which is also really nice. Since it is the Furitek brushless system, it's gonna come with all 3-wire electronics, like servo, the 3-wire servo and lights and everything. Unlike the typical like proprietary FMS like mini connectors, this makes it a lot easier to use. You can see some of the connections still have those mini connectors, but the stuff that really matters, I think, like the servo and stuff, have the standard 3-wire setup, so they're easy to upgrade. You can see the receiver is here, the Furitek ESC is right here, and I don't know if you can really see it here because of the cage. But buried in there is the Furitek Outrunner motor. And this is the first time I'll ever be using a Outrunner mini crawler motor. So I'm very excited to see how that will do. The wheels, the stock wheels and tires are beadlock, so I can reuse these really nice tires. But as you can see, the wheels, I think, don't match this truck at all. I think they're fine on the SUV version, but on this Unimog, I think it really needs a more rugged looking wheel. So I'm gonna get those wheels thrown on here, and then plug all the batteries in, and let's take it for its first run. Some other things to go over before that though. It does have the HobbyPlus Furitek aluminum chassis, which is cool. Aluminum shocks, wheel filled out of the box, very nice. And then yeah, portal axles, similar to the FCX24 and your typical CR18s. So that's nice. Plastic steering linkage, so that will need to be upgraded at some point, and plastic servo horn, so that will also need to be upgraded at some point. But there's no weights in these wheels. It's just going to be whatever weights come with this, which come with brass rings, so it's a nice little upgrade. But with that all said, before I go off track again, let's throw these on and see how this thing runs. So we got the steel wheels on, batteries in the transmitter. So to turn this thing on, there's a little switch on this side of the ESC. Flip that down, comes alive. And I was actually looking down here, and that is a forward mounted motor, and you can actually see the motor in there. That's pretty neat. And also that you can see the drive shafts are opposing spin drive shafts, and kind of an attempt to limit torque twist. But let's see how this thing does. Servo seems nice and responsive. It does also have a single speed transmission, so you will see there's no shifting going on here. You really don't need a 2-speed transmission, I don't think, with a brushless setup. You can see the modulation is pretty good there. And those stock tires are doing wonderfully climbing this thing. It is definitely very smooth. And the weight bias of this thing is pretty good, given that it's the Unimog style. I was expecting it to be a little bit rear heavy, since the front of the body is Lexan and the rear of the body is hard plastic. It rolled over a little bit there, but surprisingly, I don't know if it's because of the forward motor position or what, but it seems relatively stable. and the weight bias seems pretty good. You see, it still has a lot of wheel speed. So that's the benefit you're going to get with the brushless system, is you get the speed of the high gear of a 2-speed, but then you still are able to get the low speed power and control of a first gear. So a little bit of a approach angle issue here because of that very blunt and large front bumper, but that's gonna flip. That's for sure gonna flip. So normally an area like this would be where a truck would struggle, especially with that steep incline for that rear wheel. So let's see how this thing does. And it's climbing it without an issue, which I think is pretty incredible considering this is stock tires, stock electronics, completely stock setup. Literally the only thing I changed was the wheels. So a little bit more weight in those wheels than the stock plastic beadlocks, but that's literally all I've changed, and this thing is performing absolutely fantastically, and it also looks really, really good. I'm actually a lot happier with this model than I am with the FMS Unimog, though from a fully scaled perspective, of course the Unimog is going to be a much nicer model, but from a functionality and performance standpoint, the FMS Unimog doesn't even stand a chance. The wheelbase of this truck is also much longer than the FMS Unimog. Kind of for comparison, over here, I have a very stretched, you can see how far the links extend past this chassis. Very stretched FCX24. And you can see the stock wheelbase of this CR18 is about the same as the stretched FCX24. And yes, this is technically an 18 scale crawler. That's technically a 24 scale crawler according to their manufacturers. But you can see by the size of the bodies in the trucks, they're both essentially 18 scale vehicles. So that's why I made that comparison. See if it's able to do some other angles, like this angle here. And I also wonder if I'm able to turn the lights on and off. I don't think I am. But nevertheless, so with how well this Furitek system is doing, now I'm kind of curious how well the new FMS Outrunner brushless system will do. I do have that system coming for this truck, so when that does come, I will do a comparison. That looks really cool with those tail lights back there. And just my throttle finger has not changed position at all, and this truck is just maintaining a consistent forward motion. So this is a really steep drop. So let's see if we're able to get down without flipping over, look at just how slow this thing's able to move. It's barely even perceptible on camera. Oof. Yeah, I'm gonna blame that on the terrain moving. But yeah, look at how incredibly smooth this is. I've never even seen 10 scale vehicles move this slow. That's just really incredible that it's able to do this not even just on flat ground, but on varying terrain. And this truck is really opening my eyes to why everyone that cares about performance with these things are all pretty much switching over to a outrunner motor. It's definitely nothing like the simple in-runner sensorless brushless motors from back in the day. This is just incredibly smooth. And the price point of these motors have also come down fairly a lot. So they're also pretty affordable. Especially that FMS system that I was talking about. That motor is only like 20 bucks, I think. For the whole system, I think it's like $40, which is pretty incredible. This Furitek system, since it is more programmable and such, and I think it's capable of 3S, it is a little bit more pricey, but for that FMS system to come in below $50 essentially, it's pretty incredible. So to wrap up my first impressions, I'm actually really impressed with this vehicle. This is not actually the first HobbyPlus vehicle I've experienced. The first one I've experienced is actually this CR18P 6x6 Arctos tow truck. And this thing impressed me so much that it made me more interested in the regular original 4x4 CR18P. And I have to say, just like the Arctos, I am very impressed and very satisfied with this vehicle. I think the performance is amazing. It's probably the best out-of-box performance I've ever experienced. It also looks fairly scaled and looks fairly good. It's not licensed or anything, but it does still look fairly good. The value is also incredible. You get beadlock wheels, not these ones, but you still get beadlock wheels. Incredibly soft and sticky tires, a relatively detailed Lexan body. You can see its hard windshield wipers, mirrors, bumpers, lights come with it. Separate winch fair lead. Even has door handles, snorkels on this side, clear windows, full like molded bed. A very interesting and cool way to store your battery in there to kind of make that look like a scale detail. That's also very cool. It comes with oil-filled aluminum shocks, the Furitek chassis, Furitek brushless electronics. It's just portal axles even. It's honestly an incredible value. For this thing to come under $200 RTR, even without sales or anything, it's actually really incredible. I personally like this version way better because I think it's more fitting of the portal axles, but the SUV version is also really cool if you want something that you're able to put different bodies on. I think it's an excellent starting point for something like that. The wheelbase, the stock wheelbase, is also really good. It has a nice long wheelbase, performed very well, and there's really nothing at first glance that I'm really disappointed with. I think I will upgrade the steering linkage, 2 metal ones, just cause. Same thing with the servo horn. The servo itself is fine for now. The links are plastic links down here, but they're rigid enough to keep this thing stable. Those can be upgraded eventually, I think, but no real rush on this thing because that body is fairly light. If you just have decently weighted wheels or portal covers or something on here, it's gonna have enough load on weight. This thing's already pretty low down on the weight. The weight balance of this, even with the injection molded rear bed area, the balance of this is also pretty incredible. So really happy with this. Incredible that this thing is also able to come under the FMS brushless vehicle. Granted, that is a licensed Blazer body, but it's also a much shorter wheelbase, doesn't come with nearly as nice tires as this, and the body's gonna be much heavier. So if you want a more scale accurate kind of licensed vehicle, maybe go for that FMS Blazer brushless. But if you are more into performance or you're fine with the scale details of this one, I don't see a reason why you wouldn't go with this. HobbyPlus is also fairly established now, so there's plenty of aftermarket support, there's plenty of part support. So I wouldn't really worry about anything like that. And overall, I'm pretty happy with this. I think the only thing for me to do now is those minor upgrades I mentioned. Maybe detail up the body a little bit, maybe change the color of the body. But for the most part, I think this is pretty much gonna just be played with as it sits here. So very impressed with the CR18 Pro or Furitek collab. I hope Furitek does more collabs with brands to give you a good value on their nice brushless systems, because they do tend to be a little bit expensive on their own. So very happy with this. I think it was worth every penny, especially with that reduced sales price. But if you ever pick up one of these, I think you're also going to be pretty happy with it. And I'm excited to see what else I can really do with this thing. So with that said, I hope everyone enjoyed this video. And as always, I hope everyone has a great day and have fun with RC.